Yes, welcome back. You're still watching Power Breakfast right here on Citizen TV, and we continue with this news review this morning. Very interesting. You should just listen to some of the conversations that take place on this table during the break. I'm like, wow. Very interesting. We're still here with Rosa Bui, Deputy Organizing Secretary, ODM, also candidate for the Woman Representative seat, Kisumu County, Jogo Barua MP Gishugu, and Deputy Governor Nairobi, Jonathan Mweke. Let's now move on to the campaign. And on the front page of the Daily Nation, an interesting week in politics. That's a headline. Raila will test Uhuru's Meru and Tharaka Nithi vote firewall and raid his central backyard, while the president will be spending some energy on rear guard operations in the Rift Valley, where local politicians require pacification. The week will tell whether Mr. Odinga has made sufficient inroads in Upper Eastern to threaten Kenyatta's hold on power. The full story is on page 4. And the headline on page 4 is President gears up for battle against disquiet in Jubilee. Political unrest across Uasin Gishu and Meru promises to be a major test for president in race for re-election in August. Jogo Barua, why is Meru and Tharaka Nithi a problem for the president, and why do you think the opposition is even thinking that, yeah, they could actually hive off some of that vote from Jubilee?
I think Meru and Tharaka Nithi are not problems to the president. What is really happening is that you have several factions. One of them headed by Munya, who is the PNU party chairman, party leader. In the same Tharaka Nithi, you see the sitting governor is running on a Kenya ticket. You also have a Jubilee candidate in the same mix. What is interesting is that, and important to note, is that all these people are fighting amongst themselves, and they are fighting to support the president. So largely they are supporting the president. So what really needs to be done here is to ensure that this competition for attention and competition for votes is done in a more civil manner without harming one another. But that's a challenge that even the president has been facing, especially in the Rift Valley, where this, what they're calling it, sort of rebellion, or rather mutiny by serious Jubilee candidates, and actually demanding and giving the party leaders an ultimatum that it's either us or the independent candidates, because that's a problem. There are so many people with the independents. It presents a problem to Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy. One of the things we're talking on this table is that sometimes in politics we become selfish, and that's one of the I can disclose the public. and this guy is the Rift Valley is like the President Kwashingishu. We can safely say is a Jubilee stronghold. What is happening is that, like in other Jubilee strongholds, the Jubilee candidates want to get the entire space. But the independents also want to be given a chance to compete for the same position. And there are two types of independents. There are those people who decide to be independent from from the get-go, from the first day. Who are very few. We are very few, but they are still there. There are those who went independent because of the nomination incidences. But all of them are saying we are supporting the president. Even when we go to this Ruo Nyanza and Western, those people who are in independent, most of them are supporting Raila Odinga. It's like, well, we can say for sure this battle for presidency is between Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta. There's no dispute about it. So the issue of Rift Valley is an issue we are going to quell in the next few days. Well, the president is camping there. And the president is coming there, and from there is going to Meru. But for Raila to go and test whether he has made inroads in Meru, he doesn't have to do this. I can tell him he hasn't.
Well, Fred, I'm going to smarten up, because what I want to say is from deep within my heart. There is no politician in this country like Raila Amolo Odinga. Why do I say that? Most of the candidates are very comfortable with their strongholds, and you can see what the deputy president and the president do. They are so comfortable when they're in Rift Valley, because that is their stronghold. When they're in Central, that's their stronghold. But Meru and Tharaka Nithi, which is considered, like he says, to be the president's stronghold, you will find Honorable Raila actually going there to do his campaigns. You know why? Because he believes Kenya is one. He believes in a united Kenya. And he believes if you're going to be the president of this country, you cannot be the president of parts of this country. You need to be the president of all people in this country. So Raila is daring. Raila is bold. He's courageous. to even go to places which are locked and closed, like my colleague says, for
and if I could just, for the sake of the viewers, on Tuesday, Raila Odinga will be in Namanga, Loitoktok, and Kajiado. On Wednesday, in Nasurura, Narok Town. On Thursday, Maua, Chuka, Meru Town. On Friday, Laikipia, Nyeri, for a town hall meeting. On Saturday, Kiambu Road, Thika Town, that's in Kiambu.
And when he goes to those places, he's just not going for PR. He goes and does his campaign like he does it in any other place that is considered the stronghold. That is the difference between Raila and the other politicians.
If we look at the kind of, and this is just for this week, it may not speak much, but this is just a plan for this week. NASA have read out what they'll do. Jubilee, meanwhile, will be, right now, they're in Uasin Gishu, where they're said to be working to quell the disquiet there. On Tuesday, West Pokot, still in Rift Valley, which is supposed to be their stronghold. Wednesday, Busia in Western. Thursday, Kericho. Friday, Bomet. Saturday, Kakamega. You're seeing the president and his deputy focusing more on Rift Valley, which should be a done deal. They should. They should have said, "This is my stronghold."
Wait a minute. No.
Spend a whole week.
We have got 50-something days to elections.
Yes.
We have 56 to speak. We have our strategy. You don't have to share it with ODM. And when my sister here talks about nobody like Raila Odinga, I agree with her. Raila is unique in his own characteristics. Just like myself and yourself and Uhuru Kenyatta. When you say that Raila is daring enough, I agree. But who is not daring? You look at the front page of the Nation. This is Uhuru Kenyatta in Bungoma, where the core principal Wetangula comes from. We are daring enough to go there. We are going to Kisumu, but Kisumu is in the program. So but
at least not this week.
Not this week, yes. But it's a strategic time for us because we have a strategy, we have a plan, and we know how to get the majority of votes. So when Raila comes to Kiaboro, where he lives, that's fine. He's welcome. As we are going to Kodere, you see that? And we hope when you go to Kodere, there will be no stones.
No, there won't be stones.
Or even shoes. I'm just asking. We are discussing the headlines here today. The other thing is also here is when in this platform, we are discussing the headlines and news review. A time to campaign for President Uhuru Kenyatta is not here. The time to campaign or psycho fund for Raila is not here. We are supposed to be informing Kenyans this is what is in the papers, and then we intellectually interrogate these things and give people some value of what the newspaper.
Because what we're trying to look at this is we're saying what could be the intention? What can you read the strategy of Uhuru Kenyatta camping in the Rift Valley for this whole week with short ventures into Western Kenya, but then returning to Rift Valley, while Raila Odinga is heading out to Meru, Laikipia, Central Kenya. You see the difference? That's what we're trying to. That's how.
I think there are smart people. There are smart people.
It's what
I think before America comes in, they are smart people. I don't think it would be good for Raila Odinga to be Rift Valley. I mean the same part of the Rift Valley, and Uhuru Kenyatta at the same time. They cause commotion. I think these are responsible people, and they have different. I'm sure somehow they know the program one another. So when Raila is in Central Kenya, you don't expect Uhuru to be there.
But in terms of what Raila hopes to get from his ventures into Central Kenya this week,
I don't know. They can tell us.
He hopes to get votes there.
Votes?
Yes.
Okay.
You see, even we don't know about the future. We don't know about Jubilee's plans for the future. But even last week, the president was in Rift Valley. He was doing the Nakuru, the Naivashas, and all of those. There's politics, and then there's reality. And I think the reality, Fred, is about livelihood, right? What is the livelihood in Meru? It's Miraa. Okay? These last 5 years, the Miraa industry has completely been messed up by the Jubilee government in Meru. Right? We saw them being locked out of Somalia. That is their livelihood. That's the economy of Meru is around Miraa. Alright? Now, they were locked out of Somalia. They were promised $1 billion shillings. It went to the wrong people. The money got eaten. Yeah, they were promised that they're going to be dealt with some sort of market for abroad, but the UK banned it. You see what I mean? So then Raila was in Meru with Kalonzo a few months ago, and they gave them a Marshall Plan on how they're going to make Meru a cash crop. Now, these are not just Jubilee zones and NASA zones. These are people who want to survive and understand issues and will support the people who want them to survive. And that's why after Raila left Meru, Uhuru tried to go to Meru and he had to postpone, because I mean, Citizen TV went there, we saw it in the newspaper. They went to the marketplace and all the Merus were saying, Sisi ni NASA, Sisi ni NASA, Sisi tunataka Raila na Kalonzo. It's because of the things that NASA has said they're going to do for the Meru people. Okay. So, newsflash, Meru is no longer a Jubilee stronghold. It is a battleground.
Okay, I have a question. Yes. In as far as the itinerary this week is concerned, if we could do an analysis of the approaches both by Jubilee and NASA, do you think the president is doing it more defensive than offensive, and Raila Odinga is going all out offensively, not going back to protect his strongholds, is going after new ground, while the president is taking to consolidate that? What does that say about the political climate?
Again, it's the same thing I was just talking about. The mismanagement of the economy in the last 5 years, and when I say mismanagement, I'm talking facts. You can look at the debt as a reason.
I think you are losing that.
No, hold on a second. I'm giving my thoughts. You said we give our thoughts.
Yes, okay.
So there's been the mismanagement. The debt has gone through the roof. You've seen cost of living has gone through the roof. People couldn't even afford unga. You've seen the corruption that has reached heights that it has never reached before. You've seen mutilation of the constitution, where even the president's cabinet does not meet the 2/3 gender rule. Right? Now that doesn't affect Jubilee zones or NASA zones. It affects the entire country. So the president is waking up to realize that, oh my goodness, even in my strongholds, people are feeling poverty like they've never felt before. So he's starting from a back foot. Instead of having a stronghold, he's starting from a disgruntled, and that's what the headlines say, disgruntled Rift Valley. He's starting from a disgruntled place where people are saying, yes, we like you, we voted for you, we are your stronghold, but we are not happy the way you have taken us.
Although, Banamweke, if I could correct you, it's not really with the electorate, it's the local politicians in the Rift Valley require pacification. Governor Mandago, the Kapseret MP, Oscar.
But politicians are a reflection of the electorate. That's why you are representatives of the people. So if the politician is disgruntled, it means that there are people that they are leading are disgruntled.
Rosa Buyu, defensive versus offensive, at least in as far as the itinerary for these two groupings this week is concerned?
I totally agree with what the Deputy Governor said, because what it clearly shows is that the President is running scared, and what his tactic is to consolidate what he had, which he now doesn't have. That's where the worry is. And that's why you'll find him just in Rift Valley and doing a lot of Central, because he wants to consolidate that. He's discovering that, my God, Bomet was closely and completely tucked into Jubilee, but now 100%, they don't have it 100%. He's beginning to see that he's losing some pockets, and in a tight race, you cannot afford to lose anything that was already in your docket. You should actually look for more, which is what the NASA people are doing. The NASA is tightly holding on to what they had, with a bit of problems which they also must sort out, but now looking out into areas that they were not in to get in new votes, as opposed to what Jubilee is doing, almost just trying to consolidate what they had, which they are losing.
Okay. Do you agree with that analysis?
I think if I was in ODM, I also like to be in the position they are in now. I give myself some comfort.
You mean NASA?
I mean ODM. You know, ODM is 99%.
Mweke is from Wiper.
You mean NASA?
He's the 1%, so there's no problem with that. So they actually, I do the sympathize them because they want to feel comfortable. When you say that something like some place like Bomet has gone to NASA, I mean, don't answer me because I'm talking now. It's another contest. I mean, I can't respond to that. But I have my own reality. But in as far as the president is concerned, because you're asking about offensive, defensive. The president, when he is in Bugoma, he is actually working very well in Ukambani. And you can see his impact in Bugoma. Ukambani is crumbling.
Do you agree that he's adopted a defense?
No, what I'm saying now, it's not defensive. What I'm saying, the difference between Raila Odinga and the President Uhuru Kenyatta is that Raila Odinga is moving around like a headless chicken. Because it's headless chicken from Tarakaniti to Bungoma, from Narok and so forth. No. Now I'm saying that the President... Wait a minute, I'm saying he has no strategy.
It's a strategy.
But you see what is happening. Wait a minute, friend. The strategy for any candidate is to win votes. So what Raila is doing is what they know best to win votes. But for us as Jubilee, we are running an information-based campaign. We know when to go, where.
Do you agree with Rosa Bui, for example, that yes, the president is keen to actually seal all the loopholes in Rift Valley first, and that's exactly what he's doing this week, that all the problems in Uasin Gishu, probably in Bomet, somewhere else I think he's going is Kericho, that he's trying to ensure that that is tightened first before he goes out.
I think that is a strategy of a wise politician.
Yes.
You have to consolidate your base first, then you can reach out. So you can get the majority 50, 70 plus 1 or 50 plus whatever you want.
So it does not concern you that meanwhile Raila Odinga will be going out of his
it doesn't concern
comfort zone.
No, it doesn't.
Can I say
it doesn't concern us because Raila Odinga can compete. I mean, he's free to compete anywhere.
Yes.
At the time he wants. Let him go to Medan Tarakanisi, and he should not be following, and he'll be there very soon. And fix it.
But can I say this?
Okay.
It is true that the strategy for any politician is to win votes. But the difference between NASA and Jubilee is that NASA wants to win votes across the country from all the tribes. But for Jubilee, they are comfortable with winning votes just from 2 areas, Rift Valley and Central.
Well, he's making ventures into Busia and Kakamega.
That is not Rift Valley, no Central.
A little, but their focus, they say their main focus is Rift Valley and Central. They are comfortable with that. And then you pop in somebody else, because you pop in a few other people so that you try to look a bit national. But the strategy of NASA is Kenya is one country, and if you're going to govern Kenya, you must govern Kenya, the whole of Kenya, and bring the whole of Kenya on board.
Okay, let's move on to another headline now, away from the itinerary, because that's how it is this week. There's already problems within NASA, and more precisely within Wiper, because the minority leader, and this is on page 5 of the Daily Nation, Nyenze jolts NASA by backing Uhuru. Now this is the minority leader. National Assembly minority leader Francis Nyenze is in the eye of a political storm after he publicly endorsed President Uhuru Kenyatta for re-election. Now, in comments that are likely to jolt the opposition National Super Alliance campaign by Ukambani, Nyenze said those saying the president had not performed were peddling lies since his achievements were clear. Remember that Nyenze already has a Wiper Party certificate to run for Kitui West parliamentary seats, Deputy Governor.
I tried to reach Mheshimiwa Nyenze yesterday, because when I saw that in the news, I was even confused. Because Mheshimiwa Nyenze, first of all, is the leader of all opposition MPs in the parliament. Nyenze was a representative, or is a representative of the NASA coordinating committee that came up with suggestions on how the leadership of NASA should look like. Nyenze was on record the other day saying that he took a hardline stance about no Kalonzo, no NASA, so that he ensures Kalonzo got something within that apparatus, and indeed Kalonzo got position within the presidency as a deputy president, incoming deputy president on a NASA.
Are you saying you're not sure that Nyenze said this?
No, I'm saying I'm sure. What I'm saying is, now I'm not sure. It confused me when he went out and publicly endorsed Uhuru, because I mean I listened to the clip yesterday in the news. He spoke in Kamba, I understand Kikamba.
And it was clear?
Yeah, and it was clear. He said that really what he said is that when somebody does you good, you do them good. So you can support Uhuru Kenyatta, and that's what he said. So it confused me about this person who's been very strongly on our side, and a week or two later he's made a flip-flop. And I tried to reach him to ask him, hey, I call him leader. Hey leader, what the hell is going on? And I wasn't able to reach him. I don't know what could have informed that kind of flip-flop overnight.
Whatever his reasons, but don't you think that this is a problem now for you and the Wiper Party, especially because you've been struggling? The kinds of fallout we're seeing within the Wiper Party, especially in Ukambani. Chairman David Musila left. He was at the same event with Francis Nyenze, and he also mentioned something indicating that yes, you can vote for Uhuru Kenyatta. 56 days to the elections, it cannot be a mistake. You cannot just mention that yes, you can vote for Uhuru Kenyatta when you're not directly supporting him.
And that's why I'm saying there must be something that informed that.
Johnson Mudama is nowhere to be seen.
Musila is gone.
Musila is gone. Francis Nyenze is saying this. Surely. Wiper and Wiper position within NASA, don't you think that is a huge problem?
Well, about the people who already left, they've left, nothing you can do about it now. But the guys who are within, yes, there should be some house cleaning within Wiper, and we do need to sort out
56 days to the election. Do you have enough time for this?
Well, you know, a day in politics is too long, Fred. So we need to set out some of those issues and find out where the issues coming from. That's why I called Mheshimiwa Nyenze yesterday, just to find out, hey, did you really say this? What is informing it? Because to me, it's strange. You can't be the other day so on Mheshimiwa Kalonzo's side saying no Kalonzo, no NASA, and then all of a sudden talking about the opposition, our opponents, Uhuru.
Yes.
So it's, to me, it's confusing. Yeah, and that's why I wanted to be informed.
Watching what is happening within Wiper. Now, from an ODM perspective, don't you think that this is a problem that, yes, as had earlier been indicated, that Wiper is going to be the weakest link within NASA, that it is coming to pass?
It's a problem, and it's not only a problem with Wiper. It's a problem with ODM, it's a problem with all parties. Because looking for votes is one way of winning an election. But another way is also raiding your competitors' backyard. You can also do that. And when I listened to Nyenze last night, I thought, hey, maybe we missed the boat somewhere. Because could it be that all along, Nyenze was trying to rock the boat of NASA without us realizing?
Yes.
You know? Because when everything was happening, I mean, people thought that NASA would never agree on a presidential candidate. And then we agreed on a presidential candidate and who the deputy president was going to be. And then out of the blues, NASA, Nyenze held that press conference and said, if it's not Kalonzo, then there's no NASA. You know, which was meant to actually rock the boat at that time.
Yes.
But Honorable Kalonzo quelled it, and we got out of that. But seemingly, now when I was listening to Nyenze last night, I thought, oh, so his mission was actually not complete. Because now when everything seems to be quelled, and everything seems to be right, and we're united, and we're on the right path, then he comes with a shocker. Supporting President Uhuru very openly. You know, as if his mission was not complete, and he's on a mission, and this is yet another attempt to make sure that he scatters the Ukambani votes so that they don't all fall into the Raila Kalonzo basket.
Before we come to Jogo Barua, please respond to that. Do you think that that's what could be happening, that probably Nyenze was already on a mission, that is still on that mission?
There's something that could have informed that. What Rosa, my friend Rosa, has an opinion similar to what Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. has, because Senator Mutula Jr. is saying that Nyenze has been a Jubilee mole in NASA. But again, I like speaking facts. I don't know what informed it. I tried to call Mheshimiwa Nyenze last night. I was not able to reach him, just to ask him, is this really true? But again, Fred, it brings us back to the consequence issue we were speaking about earlier when we were looking at the headlines of the NASAs and intolerance. You see, the law is also very clear that you can't have one foot somewhere and one foot somewhere else. Nyenze is running for Kitui West on a Wiper ticket.
Yes.
Yeah? Then he can't go out, and Wiper is in NASA. So he can't really go out and support somebody who's not in Nyanza, in NASA. So there must be some sort of consequence to this kind of behavior. Otherwise you have out of order completely.
What would you do if a member of Jubilee running on a Jubilee party ticket actually come out and say, let's support Raila Odinga?
Yeah, before I get there, I think let me also contribute this Nyenze debate. And my sister is saying that Kalonzo fixed the problem within Wiper. All I know is that the problem with Kalonzo is not using very strong medication. He's just giving painkillers to a problem. This thing is going to revive itself again.
What is the problem according to you?
What I'm saying is that it's clear. Nyenze said, no Kalonzo, no NASA. So Kalonzo was never to be. So even out to him in his mind, there's no NASA. Yeah, he said, no Kalonzo, no NASA. So Kalonzo was not nominated. So there's no NASA to him. The other thing is that is the same politics of Kenya. When you use a staircase to go up, you remove it when you're up there. I think Kalonzo brought that since now I'm the deputy president running mate for Raila Odinga, now I'm the kingmaker, is a winner takes us all. So it's like he started disregarding the people who have put him up there. Mudama was one of them. It's gone. very bitter man.
Yes.
Musila leaked out from Kitui Kamatale Police. He's out. He's saying vote Uhuru many times. Nyense is there. Nyense and Oburu Odenga have served with them in Public Investment Committee. And they're the biggest proponent of the Standard Gauge Railway. Or signing all the reports and even mobbing, whipping us to sign the report in favor of the report. So when they are told this thing is bad, it is becoming difficult for them to deny a reality. And what is happening is that in this NASA arrangement, this ODM arrangement, if it starts up to be independent, I think you become out of place. And it's time for Kenyans now to wake up and say, now I'll speak the truth for the sake of this nation.
Yes.
So the question is, if a Jubilee person,
if a Jubilee candidate right now came out and said, let's support the NASA presidential candidate, what?
I don't think it will happen. No.
But what would you do?
You know what,
It will not happen. It will not happen. Mandago, I mean, he said that if this one happens, we can go either way. He was just threatening people who want to take a seat.
What if
he is at a siege?
Yes.
He will not go. He's at a siege for me, so he's a Buseke opponent. And he has to scare everybody out so that he can go to retain his gubernatorial position.
But do you think there should be consequences for someone who does that? Who says that? That yes, I'm on a Jubilee party ticket right now, but I support the NASA presidential
for
candidate.
a prosperous Kenya, there should be consequences.
There should be consequences.
Yes.
Okay.
You must have order.
The law, yeah.
You must have order.
For us to move forward as a nation, let's forget the law.
Yes.
Because the law is not working. For a prosperous Kenya in the future, there should be consequences.
And that's why, you know, if Nyenze is honorable enough, we should be asking him actually that, listen, if you really support Uhuru Kenyatta and you're running on a Kalonzo Wiper ticket, then you need to probably resign from your seat and go and run on a Jubilee ticket.
That's for people of Kitui West to say, not Kalonzo, not Ryder.
No, but how can you be in two places at
what
the
I'm
same
saying
time?
is parties.
As far as the party is concerned,
the party, but it's not for Mweke or myself or Kalonzo to say, because that's a mistake you are making. Parties have become individual properties. So what they should do is let Nyenze go back, if there is anything like that, to people of Kitui West and ask them, should I continue on Wiper? But nobody should dictate upon Nyenze to give back the ticket.
Yeah, but
nobody's
let me ask you, we're talking about principle here. You know, forget now the political divide. Just principle. Can you be on two sides, different sides at the same time?
No, you can't.
Or can you take a stand?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't.
Now, if you're on a Wiper ticket, by law and in spirit and in deed, it says you must support the Wiper party.
Yes.
Okay. Is Uhuru Kenyatta in the Wiper party?
No, he's not.
He's not. So you're in two places.
Yes.
So as an honorable, principled person, why don't you take a stand?
That's what
Either you're in Wiper or you're in Jubilee, and not in both.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You said it very clearly. The deputy governor, my friend, said it very clearly. There is going to be some cleaning up in Wiper. Cleaning up, isn't it? But what I suggest now, what I foresee now, the that to be cleaned up is not near. It could be Kalonzo. Everybody is leaving. Wiper could clean up Kalonzo for the party.
That's the question I wanted to ask you. By losing the party chairman, the leader of my minority, who's probably the leader of the opposition,
he's
official leader of opposition, party chairman, then a strong stalwart, strong supporter of Kalonzo Musyoka, Johnson Muthama, by all actually leaving Kalonzo Musyoka. Where does that leave your party leader?
I can answer that. First of all, in defense of Nyenze, I don't think Nyenze is gone.
You need it. You expect him to go further than...
I don't think Nyenze is gone. And why don't I think Nyenze is gone? Because he's going to defend his seat on a Wiper ticket. And defending his seat on a Wiper ticket, he'll have to go to Kitui West and say, listen, vote for me on a Wiper ticket and vote for Kalonzo.
But he's already saying
it's Uhuru.
I don't think he's gone. We have 54 days. There's some house cleaning to be done. I don't think Nyenze is gone. Muthama is not gone. Muthama has been on record very clearly saying, listen, I am on the presidential campaign team. I'm just not defending my seat as a senator of Machakos. I'm on the presidential campaign team. He's already been assigned duties on the presidential campaign team, and he's sorting out those duties. That's why you're not seeing him out on the road. Musila was personal disgruntlement. Right? Musila was treated unfairly. I believe Musila was treated unfairly.
Why? Because he went to the ballot?
No, because he went to a nomination and the nomination was not done properly. The same issue that you're having with Rangumba and Anyang' Nyong'o, same issue as you're having with Buzeki and Mandago. It's the same thing that's happening with Musila and Malombe. right? He feels he was treated unfairly, and he has moved out. He's running for an independent. Now he could not run for an independent, right, without leaving Wiper. So he had to resign as the Wiper chairman. And you saw the other day when I was at his mother's funeral, I made a public statement and I told the Honorable Musila, we respect you so much as a founder member of Wiper that we are not going to fill this seat of chairman. And that's why we've not filled it. We filled the deputy organizing secretary, where Badi Ali from Jomvu constituency moved to ODM. But we did not fill
it's well and good. But when you have these two gentlemen already speaking a different language.
But I think, to be fair to political parties, not everybody who shouts Lord, Lord, Lord will go to heaven.
Yeah, and
you know, so to be fair to political parties, people are members of political parties in as far as they believe in the policies of the political parties, and so they are bound to be to support the political parties. But then when they begin to think otherwise, then they are free to leave. And it is not fair to say that Wiper is now finished because a few people have left. There are also other new people who've joined Wiper.
It's not Wiper. The question was Kalonzo Musyoka. Because if you compare, if you put polls, Raila Odinga has always had the likes of James Orengo, Anyang' Nyong'o around him. If they were to leave him and desert him right now and say we've left, we're no longer working with you.
You get new people. What I'm trying to say is this: let us not pay too much attention in saying that a party is finished just because individuals have left. Those individuals have changed their minds, or they've been attracted to other places because of different reasons. For example, in ODM, Ababu Namwamba chose to leave ODM. He was the Secretary General of ODM. ODM did not die, but we have new people coming into ODM. Wiper, you can have, there might be founder members, you can have them leaving, but you also have new people coming in. So if these people feel, and I want to say that many times it's just for personal gain. If Musila, for example, was disgruntled by the nomination process in Wiper, he had other ways of getting that sorted out. There was a political, it doesn't matter, you could be a party chairman, but you went for the nomination process, and so you were to be treated equally like other people were treated. If you had a problem with that, there was a political party tribunal, then you still had the courts, but he chose not to do that. Instead, he went to be an independent candidate, and that is right, and it's granted that he can do that. But then it doesn't mean that Wiper has now collapsed.
True. I think I agree with them totally. Wiper has not collapsed. That is why even when Musila leaves, they don't replace him, because they still feel, I mean the membership of Wiper feel that Musila is a very good asset to the party. Some of the member. That's why my brother here is saying Nyenza is not gone. He's still with the Wiper party. So what I'm saying is, under the current circumstances, Wiper may be stronger, but the leader is finished. Kalonzo is one who is finished, and he is not going to offer any vote from Kabani for Raila Odinga.
Wow. Why do you think Kalonzo is finished?
Yes, I mean, the owners of the party have said they don't need him.
Who are the owners of the party?
And Mudama said that he's a bigger shareholder. And Mudama said he cannot leave the party without leaving with what he put in the party. So what has Kalonzo put in the party? Nothing. He's just enjoying the privilege.
Time now for another break. Time now for another
party leader.
He's
the party leader, he's the principal in NASA.
Ladies and gentlemen,
in NASA there's one principal, Raila Odinga. The others are just...
When we return, we'll be discussing these headlines on page 6 of the Daily Nation. ICC hopes to revive Ofuru and Ruto cases. Also, tussle over NASA city woman representative. Cracks have emerged in the Nairobi County NASA team on who will be on the ballot for the woman representative seat. That after the break.